Okay, so welcome back to MTG Militia Madness. Today I'm going to show you Braulios of the Fairies Band because this week we are doing monocolor decks. So I got Braulios here. What his whole shtick is he's 5 mana. His power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands I control. And when he attacks, I draw a card. Then I can put a land from my hand onto the battlefield. Which means I'm going to be doing a lot of ramping and a lot of putting lands into play.
And drawing cards.
Oh yeah. That being as my engine in green is really nice. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to start with is the bread and butter ramp package, which is a good most of my deck. So easiest way to start with is all the 1-cost cards, which are elves, and a sloth. So we got 4 elves, Arbor Elf, Fintorn Elves, Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystic. Notably, I am missing out on...
Boreal Druid?
Yep, Boreal Druid, which taps for colors. Honestly, you could probably try to fit it in somehow. I just liked the ones that tap for green.
You should have a lot. Right?
Yeah. Yep. And then I got Wild Growth and Utopia Sprawl, which are nice because they can't be easily removed.
Yeah, there's no strip mine.
Yep.
Actually, I don't know.
There is, I believe, but
yeah,
but like it might not be. I don't remember if it's proper legal. I know it is a common.
Yeah,
but we're not running it. It's
no.
Yeah. And then so that's good ramp stuff. Arboreal Druid specifically is nice because it does put another land on the field. However, you have to have one in hand, so it's a little awkward. But it it blocks 2/2s really well, and that helps a lot.
It's also like probably the most unique ramp to your deck specifically, right? Like the other ramp decks don't even want to go anywhere near that, right? Like elves in particular being like the big ramp deck.
Well, we're gonna see a niche one here in a second, which is Dance of the Tumbleweed.
Several ones, yeah.
Nature's Lore and 3 visits. Nature's Lore and 3 visits are kind of normal, like for like commander decks and stuff like that. Not really seen a regular popper. But 2 mana, get an untapped land, good stuff.
Nice.
Then Dance of the Tumbleweeds here says it's 2 mana. It's actually initially 3. It gets a basic land, but what you are having the nice thing out of it is if you have 5 or 6 mana, you can actually just get a big elemental. The weird thing about it though is the elemental stays the size as when it was created, even though it says XX. So if I had 5 lands when I made it, always a 5/5.
Yeah. Nice Monty Python.
Yeah.
Thanks to me in editing, because I like to match the versions. I now have to find this version over there.
Yep, but, and I swear it was printed at a common at some point.
It was. This is a secret layer rare, but it is legal in our format.
Yep, and then we got all like this creature ramp, which cheapest Sakura Tribe Elder. Basically rampant growth on a guy. Can do some nice chump blocking. Got Wood Elves, Farhaven Elves, same thing in this one. They're going to get tapped basics and just throw them out. Love the nice 7th edition printing. And then slightly worse is Elvish Rejuvenator, because if I don't have one in the top 5, it just whiffed and is not as good as these two. Mm-hmm. But it's the 3rd copy.
Yeah.
And then a new one, which is Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary, is hopefully going to be 3 mana most of the time if I have like an elf on 1. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see how that goes. But at worst, I can just throw it down as a 5 mana guy later to help thin my deck out and help my commander get bigger. So I don't see the punishment being too bad.
Yeah. For those of you who watch the set review, which is as of the filming of this video is no one, you'll recall that was a very decisive card between the two of us.
Yeah. Oh, divisive.
Yes. Not decisive.
All good. And then next I'm going to show you like my mid-rangey stuff, so things that I'm going to be playing in the mid-game before I get up to late, which is going to start with Fierce Empath. Is a nice tutor card, going to find my big guys that'll come out later. Jewel Thief is a good mid-range thing, just going to help me get up to like 6 or 7.
This card's just
real
nuts.
Fast.
This card's so good.
It's just good value. Then we got Eldrazi Repurposer for the same effect.
This card's also really good.
Yep. Entourage of Trest, which will become the Monarch, which is one of these things that can go like 3 into 4 very easily, or 2 into 3 very nicely.
Is this the first deck that has Monarch in the main deck that we've been on the channel?
Probably one of them, to be honest. Then we got Professional Wrestler, which is like a more expensive Jewel Thief Eldrazi Repurposer, and has a nice ability that it can't be blocked by one or more creatures, which will be nice later when we get into my trample enablers. Because this could potentially just be like an abyss that is trampling over for multiple damage every turn and just slowly killing them. Then we got Evolution Witness as a nice mid-range card that'll be, oh hey, I had to like trade off my Professional Wrestler earlier to get it back, or I had to discard some other big guy, and it's like, okay, another shot at it. Then we got Bannerhead Krushock, which is a nice mid-range card, which I could discard it and then bring it back. Or an interesting note is, I can discard this to put counters on my Evolution Witness, and then I can get another thing back. Or I can scavenge it.
Yeah, also the ability to scavenge this is not nothing either. This card's also just great.
Yep. And then we got this nice Sagu Wildling, which
staple of the format.
Mid-range card, going to come out as a nice dragon. Also gives me the ability to find lands if I don't have a land in hand for Braulios in the mid-game or early game. This is actually a very nice synergy with my commander specifically, too, since it means that as long as I have this, it'll get shuffled back in my deck to find for a land later.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all the mid-rangey stuff, aka like 3 to 5 range. And then what we're going to get into here is my big guys. And then after that, we'll get into some fun stuff. But big guys are fun. So we got Spider Rex.
Strictly better Colossal Dreadmaw.
Yeah. The nice thing about this is it has Ward 2, which may not look like much on a 6-drop. But hopefully this will come down on like turn 4, maybe even if I'm lucky, turn 3. And that Ward 2 is going to be pretty crushing, especially because it's a legendary creature that can't get cast down.
Like, at all, right? Like, pay the 2. Cool. You can't.
You can't target this.
Yeah.
Then we got something I like, which is Greater Tanuki. It's a 6 mana, 6/5 trample, but it also has this nice little ramp effect for discard it, and then I can just put a basic land out. The other note about that is Channel can be used as an instant, so I can hold that up until my opponent's like end step if I have like any other stuff like maybe Forest Cycling from Generosint that I want to do. I can wait on that really nicely. And then Generosint is just a big bulky guy if I don't need a Forest Cycle, which I think a lot of the time in this deck I'm probably not going to need to. I play a lot more lands than most decks.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the land cyclers and ramp decks. I've built Rhino recently, and it plays both Oliphant and this card just because they're both, very, 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 very good.
Yep. And then we got the 2 staple big boys of the format. Ulamog's Crusher, 8 mana, 8/8, Annihilator 2. Has to attack each turn, but Annihilator 2 is pretty savage. Like, it's just going to destroy people.
I'm cutting it a lot. But yeah, no, it's good.
Well, I also have ways to give it trample, which help.
Yeah.
Because we'll see those in a second. And then Annoyed Altasaur can cascade down to any of my little guys, and it's just a 6/5 trample. It's real solid.
Not cutting this.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen that often, but the feeling of like going this into like one of your 6-drops just feels so good. You just feel so smart.
Yeah. I love it.
I'm the best Magic player alive because I have this Dino and my other Dino.
And then we're going to get into like a couple cheeky cards and some just good cards, which all say give something trample, because Braulios will get big, but he doesn't have trample, so he can just be chump blocked. So what we're going to have here is my personal favorite because it's fun. Ferocious Werefox, which is a card you never see. 4 mana, 4/3 trample. That is not impressive, but this little ability down here for its adventure is 2 mana, create a monstrous roll attached to a creature. So at instant speed, give something +1/+1 in trample, which will really blow out opponents.
Forever.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, you chose to block with your 1/1 against my 18/18 because by that many lands, it's happened. And then it's like, oh,
yeah,
you're just dead.
This card's like your pet card.
Yeah,
Shout out to
I like this card.
What, Wilds of Eldraine Limited?
Yeah. Then we got
the 23rd card in your sealed deck. Like,
then we got little staple here, Nyxborn Hydra.
this card's very good.
Yep, X and a green can make a X and then X+1 reach trampler. And then with Bestow for double green X, you can instead put all those counters and trample and reach onto something else, like Braulios here, or like any other of my small dudes. Like, hey, Llanowar Elves, I have 10 mana. You're now a 10/10 with Trampler. And you're attacking this turn. Then we got Summon Fat Chocobo. Comes in as a 4/4 with a bird. The nice thing about it, though, is on turns 2, 3, and 4, it's going to start giving everything trample, which will help with these like nice meteor guys. And then Colossal Dreadmask, +6/+6 and trample on a living weapon. 5 mana to re-equip. So once again, it'll make those Llanowar Elves, all that kind of stuff, actual threats in the middle late game, in addition to giving my bigger guys trample when needed.
Yeah. I've been playing this card in my sideboard against that control decks a lot. Like, just the extra body, and it makes anything a threat. Like,
oh yeah, this card's real nice. Like, Modern Horizons 2 was real good for this.
Yeah, shocking.
Or is this Modern Horizons 3? Modern Horizons 3.
Yeah. Modern Horizons sets are very good.
Yeah, period.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but those sets are very good.
Yeah. Then we're going to get into what the staple draw of green is, which is Malevolent Rumble, Lead the Stampede, you meet in a tavern. I am not playing Winding Way, which I probably could because I have that many creatures, but the fail to find condition of it was a little more harsh of like throwing stuff into the graveyard that I might want, so I was just like, oh, let's just stick with Lead the Stampede.
You also just don't want too many of those types of effects, right? Like,
Yeah.
you like 3, I think, is like the perfect number. I can see maybe because this costs 4 mana, cutting it for a Winding Way just to get cheaper, but like,
the nice thing about it though is if I have like 4 1/1s on the board, I can actually choose start a brawl and punch in.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's pretty interchangeable which 3 you play, but I think 4 is a little bit overkill.
Yeah, I actually will be playing 4 in Spider-Man India, so show that. But
yeah, that's a different deck.
Yeah. And then we got what I have as my main board removal is a weird one in Monstrous Emergence and Lignify. Lignify is nice, just turns off commanders, makes something just a stick that does very little. And then Monstrous Emergence is actually very nice because what it says is 2 mana, as an additional cost to cast this, choose a creature you control or reveal a creature card from your hand, and that deals damage equal to the power of the creature you chose to the revealed target creature. Mm-hmm. The nice thing about this is it's a fight effect that cannot be fizzled if you chose a card from your hand. So if you had like a 2/2 on the board and a 3/3 in your hand, you can fight with the 3/3 in your hand so they can't just bolt the 2/2.
Mm-hmm. The other thing about Lignify is it kills creatures like, it's really, really good against commanders, but it's also really, really good against like awkward sizes for green decks, like Murmuring Mystic and things like that, where it's just like, stop it, get out of my face.
Yeah, and we will get to Murmuring Mystic a little bit when I get to my sideboard, because there is one card that's specifically there for that and other weird flyers.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing of the main deck, though, is the lands. We'll start with the utility lands, which we got Cycle Land, then Gingerbread Cabin to make a food against potentially aggressive decks, and Colony Garden to throw down a blocker or maybe just an anti-sacrifice outlet.
Very similar mana bases the two of us have.
Yep. And then the rest of the lands are not complicated. I have 18 forests.
22 lands, huh?
Yes, because I am searching them out constantly. Mm-hmm. Like, it looks like a lot until you're like, well, I just played 3 cards that search lands, so now I have like 16 in my deck after turn 3.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And also, 2 of them cycle is a part of it, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
One of them's kind of it's a blocker, right? Like
exactly. That's one of the reasons I like made sure to put in the utility lands. And now that we've gone over that, I'm going to move everything off to the side and we can get onto the sideboard.
Sideboard.
Yep. So I'll start just from top to bottom with how I've sorted them out. So Sprout Swarm. You might notice that this is a proxy. I bought the card, but it was delayed in shipping, so we're doing this.
We have a couple of them. That's fine.
Yeah. It'll come up one other time today.
Shout out Torwaki.
Yeah.
We mentioned that in the deck tech, right? That Torwaki wasn't real.
Yeah. I'm only proxying cards I actually own, which isn't good, though. It's just shipping can sometimes be a little bit of a nightmare, and it's like, I ordered this over 2 weeks ago just to buy a hair and
Yeah.
But yeah, this is real nice. It is 2 mana with Convoke and buy back 3, make a 1/1. What this is mainly for is control decks. So like if you're against like somebody who's constantly like removing boards and stuff like that, and you have 10 mana and you're not doing much anymore, you can just say, well, unless you do anything to actually harm me, I'm just going to make like 3 1/1s a turn, and it's going to keep growing because the 1/1s can convoke each other.
Yeah, it gives you a way to like invest mana, right? Because like you can't invest mana into against control decks sometimes, especially the blue-based ones, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't invest 8 mana into Ulamog's Crusher for it to just like either get countered or die. It just gets to a point where like this is just another thing that you can feel pretty safe in investing mana into because they have to counter it.
Yeah, and if this takes a counter spell over something like Braulios or like an Ulamog's Crusher, I'm honestly pretty okay with that too.
You're good.
Then what I got are a couple extra removal spells here for general matchups. We got Bushwhack, fight spell that could also double up as a search of land. Ram Through, which is a fight spell that if the creature has trample, will just dome my opponent for a bunch, which is hopefully a win con and that kind of thing. Then we got the general graveyard package, Tormod's Crypt, Relic of Progenitus. And so...
Nice old bordered Relic of Progenitus.
Yeah.
So, these are my cards, and you'll notice that I like weird versions of cards.
Yeah. But yeah. And then we got what I was talking about with the Murmuring Mystic. We got Scattershot Archer, which is going to deal with like aggro flyers like fairies, random hawks and stuff like that if somebody's trying to do that. City Pigeon, I don't know. But mainly like blue stuff like fairies and then Murmuring Mystic tokens.
Yeah.
This is like the only way I can easily deal with a Murmuring Mystic, to be honest.
That doesn't involve like trying to kill the Murmuring Mystic, yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair, if I try to kill the Murmuring Mystic, if it already got like 3 guys on the board, sometimes that can be a little out of hand.
Yeah, just enough.
Yep. Then what I'm going to say next is my aggro packet, anti-aggro package mixed with one of my artifact packages, because if they're artifact aggro, Quiet Disrepair is also there. So we got Pulse of Marasa, gain 6 life, get a creature or land back. Just a nice gain spell that has actual utility. Weather the Storm can sometimes gain up to like 15, 20 life, 21 life. And so that's going to just completely like stall me for enough time to survive.
Really good against the red decks.
And then a nice fun one, Nylea's Disciple.
I love this card.
Which is 3 for 4, which gains life equal to my devotion to green, which should probably be about like 4 or 5. So like 4 mana, like gain 5 life on a 3/3 body. Not too bad. If I'm lucky, I can hopefully get a little more, but it's just a good solid card.
Spoiler for Wednesday's video, but devotion might be in my sideboard as well. Spooky hand.
And then we got Quiet Disrepair here, which is a weird card. It's enchant an artifact or enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can choose to destroy it or gain 2 life. So hopefully this will happen against like an aggro deck where it's like, a red deck where they're just throwing in like the not Din of the Ancients, the red artifact land. I just like put on their land. It's like, yeah, that's gonna stay there. You can keep your land. I'm just gonna gain 2 every turn for the rest of the game. And I realized I put that off camera for that, but it's understandable. I was giving that to my opponent in that quote unquote scenario. And then where did I put the rest of the cards? Oh, they're upside down. I put them upside down.
Yay.
Yeah, and then we got the rest of my anti-artifact enchantment package, which is a lot, and you may say it's too much, but honestly, like, they have different situations, and I don't really need much against a lot of decks because my deck is kind of an engine that does its own thing. It's just I need to survive against aggro and stop decks that are finely tuned machines from being too finely tuned, and most of the finely tuned machine decks are artifact or enchantment based. And then also the Heritage Reclamation doubles up against being a graveyard card. So Pick Your Poison can sacrifice an artifact or enchantment, so if they have like a key one, it's also very cheap.
Also kill a thing with flying, can't it? Is it the third mode?
Yeah, it is the third mode, so potentially relevant. So I will probably bring those in the same matchups as Scattershot Archer. The Glamour here, we'll shuffle it in if it has like something that I don't want to be in the graveyard. Also potentially like an interesting way to effectively kill a commander, because one is changing zones, they could just put it back into their command zone if they have an artifact commander, which there are a couple. And then Mass Vandal, just a nice way to destroy something. Like, also comes on a actually pretty okay body, so good against his aggro decks, because I can once again block 2/2s really efficiently with it. And then Tranquility is here for like hard, like Boggle-Z style effects. Potentially some like Enchantressy kind of thing. Like, there's some solid enchantments that you might want to do that with.
Yeah, some like white decks that are like really relying on like the journey to nowheres of the format.
Yep. And then that's it for that. So this has been Braulios of Fairies Ban, and we'll see you in the next one.